Hello everybody and welcome to Upwell and Onwards. Now today is the final of the Gresley Trilogy. And I'm very proud to say it is the well-loved A4 class locomotive. What some would say is Sir Nigel Gresley's masterpiece, when it's obviously the V2, but we'll not go on that matter. Now this example is 60018 Sparrow Hawk with non-corridor tender. And it's a super detail model. Now this is one of Hornby's older models. I'll just open the box and bring her out. Remove the card bit and there's the logo. Detail pack being in the wee pocket up here. And as you can tell by the rubber band, I got it second hand. Now this, I thought was quite a good buy at the time. Until recently when I've just found out that a brand new A4 would only have costed me about 50 bucks more than this. But oh well. Them's the brakes, I guess. So we'll just get it on the track here. But in components, so get rid of the packaging, which is a simple styrofoam 2-part, which I think is just molded as is, then they just cut it in half. So just move the packaging off the layout for the moment. Now we can have a better look at the locomotive. Now we'll start with the tender. As we can see, a lovely livery in the late British Railways crest, sprung buffers, vac pipe, NEM coupler, tender pickups, of course, and also removable coal. But word of warning to those who try, I think this might be a streamlined A4 tender, because it really gets, this coal load really sticks in there, in between the gap here. So that's my theory on why it's a streamlined A4 tender. Naturally the locomotives are streamlined, but I mean for those tenders used on the Silver Jubilee, which was a streamlined train. Did I even put that on right? Well, next time I get to the model club, I'm definitely going to have to put it into maintenance because I sadly lack facilities. Now, let's get to the loco. Straight away, nice safety valves there. Good hand railing. Very lovely detail. 3-link coupler. Sprung buffers as well. Vac pipe fitted. Brake rigging. Very nice. Flangeless rears, which is good. A beautifully detailed cab. Very beautifully detailed. And vents on the roof actually do open in that, which I like. I really do like that. And you can see, look at that, that's the metal reversing rod. I like that. Apologies if the layout seems a bit cluttered today. Been a bit of a hectic week because I've been doing a lot of painting. One of which is of that tramway coach conversion that I'm doing, that you have already seen in a previous video. I just am currently waiting for certain layers of paint to dry before I can finish up. I believe I'm one painting session left before I can finally put the carriage back together and call it job done. Now, I already know how well this goes around the layout, but for the sake of the viewers, we'll just give it a quick run round. it can go light engine at speed, no problem. Now, as you just saw, I got some LNE antiques in the sidings, one of which I'm quite proud of. Just readjusting the camera a bit, because due to the white paint on the roof deteriorating a lot worse than I expected, I had to repaint the roof of this coach, and I think it looks quite nice. I really do. Throw your comments on my paint job in the description below if you want to, but just a comparison between the two. Look at that. That's good. And I've actually checked carefully online on how these LNE antiques look, and it turns out these end bits, just the top of them, are painted the same as the roof. So I'm not really, I didn't really overdo the paint, and I made sure to record 1 or 2 videos of it for you, the viewers, of the coach painting. Naturally, it was only just the paint here and a bit on the buffers, but just a little bit on the buffers, not these ones, the other end of the coach. But I think I skipped a fair bit of filming while painting the coach, because it was the first time I ever painted something this big. My hands were shaking, and in fear of screwing up while on camera, and the fact it took me an hour to paint, I skipped a fair bit until I had it up to where I was unmasking it, doing final touch-ups, and putting it back together. Now then, currently, Sparrowhawk has 3 coaches. Let's add a few more, shall we? Now, 5 ain't a bad number, but I think we can better that. 8. 10. Yep. Whoops. Naughty. I almost forgot to reset a point. That would have been bad. But if you saw in the previous video, I only did 6 coaches with the V2 and I think the A3. So 10 is quite a large number. And I will be honest with you, even when running this at the model club, I only run it with 8, because any more than that, it won't climb the incline. It just won't. So this is going to be a first. A heavy 8-coach train. No, not 8, 10. And funny enough, this year, 2018, marks 80 years since Mallard's steam record of 126 miles an hour. So, though I don't have a blue A4 or a dynamometer car, holy crap, I got that right for once, nor a corridor tender locomotive, I figure a speeding A4 with a lengthy train would make a very perfect video. So, let's just see how it goes. No hesitation, no slip at all. Just straight LNER power. Okay, now that was beautiful, I admit, but I wonder how much the loco can really pull. So, I'll just uncouple it. The only reason I uncouple it is because it would be very hard to couple up extra coaches. We're training its way. Before anyone comments, you can't put Great Western coaches behind an LNER loco. I model in the preservation era, so think again. And also, I have once seen a video of one of these hauling a 15 coach train, which is very heavy. Even in preservation terms, 15 coach trains are just heavy as heck. Because Great Western Southern trains, if they do mainline tours, I think 11 is the limit. And that really includes the locomotive crew car, I think it is, or whatever the darn they call it. So, I got here 14 coaches, and before anyone thinks the Great Western stock will surely come off the rails, well, you're wrong. Because these are Bachmann Great Western coaches, and they are a fair bit heavier than the Hornby teaks. Now, I got these for about 20 bucks a piece, which really ain't bad. It's a good deal, considering I got 5 collets, 2 order coaches, and, well, Western Region Standard BG, and a Hawksworth brake as my Great Western passenger stock. But there's always room for improvement. Now let's see how this old girl pulls it. Well, it wants to go. It wants to go. Slow at first. Slight slip as the speed suddenly increased. Ah, go on, you beauty. No way. I do not believe it. It's still going. As soon as the train disappears at one end, it reappears at the other. I'm just astounded. I'm just astonished. But that gets me thinking, because this is 14 coaches. And these are supposed to be more powerful than the V2s. Now, during the war, the V2s could haul up to 20 coach trains. So, let's add a few more and see where the locomotive's limit really lies. So, in between the Great Western and the LNER passenger stock, we have us some nice Monsell Southern Railway coaches. Now, these are the premium versions, and before I get people asking what's the dang difference, well, these coaches are shorter in height than the railroad versions, but they pack so much detail. So we got 3 Southern Rail coaches just added on, making it a total of 17 now. But for the tail end of this very interesting on the train, we also have another 3 teak coaches just, you know, lying around, doing nothing. And I figure give these a go, see what happens. Now what we have here are 2 brake coaches and a sleeper. Just got to couple them up and we're going. Just from the teak coaches alone, I can feel quite a bit of weight in the couplers. Wow. I don't think the A4 is going to like chasing its own tail. Because, I mean, there it is right there. And the... Oh, whoops. And there's where I forgot to switch the points. Whoops, that was a close one. That was a close one. I just saved the coach from going over the edge. And I knocked 2 off the rails. But I'll just fix this end here. Because that is bad, that is bad, that is bad. Okay, that's that sorted. But now we got a 20 coach train, and look at that. The A4 is literally chasing its own tail like a dog. And just to show the slack action in the couplers, that's all the slack right there. I push it in. That is a lot of slack. I mean, you could probably fit a truck in that much slack gap. And I'll bring the camera, get the loco to pull the train forward. It's actually hauling it. Holy smokes. It's actually hauling it. Now, you know. There we go. Now, there's the loco, and there's the tail of the train. Just watch how much slack action there is. Nose of the loco, end of the train. I can almost push the end of the coach out of frame. That's how much slack there is in it. Holy crap. This is one powerful motor, I'll tell you that much. Oh, she's slipping a bit. I think I just found her. Yep, I think I just found her turning point, unless I put all the slack back in the couplings. And... oh, there we go. She's moving. Slowly, but she's moving nonetheless. Oh my god, look at this! Now I might get told off for abusing a locomotive, but I mean, come on. Alright, before I do any damage to the motor, I'll stop it here. But, I mean, wow. That is amazing. Just chuck in reverse. And it's pushing all 20. Look at that. Pushing all 20. I love that. There's... okay. I don't want to damage the A4, so I'll leave it there. But, oh my gosh. 20 coaches, 7 of which are actually quite heavy. Holy cow. This is a first. Not even with my 9F I've ever done 20 coaches. So, I'm just amazed. Oh my gosh. Well, for a running session video, which I'm definitely going to film right after this, I'm grabbing the 9F, I'm taking the A4 off the train, putting the 9F on, see if it works. Holy cow. That's beautiful. Okay, before I get carried away, I should actually say some facts and figures about the locomotive class itself before I actually end this. Basically, Sparrowhawk is one of 35 A4s that were built by the LNER between 1935 and 1938. So a 3-year period, which is not bad. Designed by Sir Nigel Gresley and with assistance from his apprentice Oliver Bullard. Now, funny little fact is the streamlined shape of the A4s may not have been. It's only when they were doing wind tunnel tests, one of the workmen, while grabbing them all, because there was a bit of a plasticine model or whatever it was, he planted his thumb on the funnel, and it made an indentation right there. As you can see, that shape has stood, and it kept the streamlined shape with the locomotives ever since. That's beautiful. That is nuts. Only 6 of the locomotives are preserved, though. Mallard naturally being one of them. But I'm just amazed how... I'm just really amazed. Because 6 examples exist. Naturally, the record breaker, Mallard, Sir Nigel Gresley, named after its designer, Union of South Africa, Bittenden, Dominion of Canada, and Dwight D. Eisenhower all survive. But only about half of them have ran in the last 20 years. So, Sir Nigel Gresley, Bittenden, and Union of South Africa, in the last 20 years they've ran. But back in the 80s, Mallard had a nice run. I just love that. Basically, these were the top link trains on the East Coast Main Line, hauling long passenger express trains, cutting down times, and during their swan song, meaning their final years, they ran the Aberdeen-Edinburgh Expresses. And to quite reasonable times too. Now, I'm actually having to use a cheat sheet to read the facts, because I'm just amazed at how well this locomotive performed at the moment. But originally only 4 of these were built for the Silver Jubilee. Silver Link, Silver King, Silver Fox, and can't remember what the other one was. Whoops. See, oh yeah, Quicksilver, I just remembered. All built in 1935. Now, as for my one, Sparrowhawk here, I'm just, oh yeah, Bittenden on a few occasions has masqueraded as one of her sisters, Dominion of New Zealand, my favourite country, and they actually put a New Zealand locomotive whistle on the engine, which I really like, because it's a very strong free tone. But yeah, my one in its LNER form was numbered 4463, and it was withdrawn in 1963, sadly. Well, that's a bugger, ain't it? Now, these were really used on quite a number of special trains. The Silver Jubilee train, for instance, streamlined, as well as one known as the Coronation train, which had a very interesting rear observation car, which sadly ended up being rebuilt, and I think an example is on the Bluebell Railway. Not entirely sure. Now, I admit, you can also get these done by Bachmann. I know Dapol have definitely done one, because I saw a video on by Matt Slade about the Dapol A4. I know IC82 has done A4 videos, and I definitely know Sam's Train has as well. So I'll pop a link to each channel's video, just what I figure is the most recent or the most cool of the videos. I'll put them in the description below. And the fact that these locomotives, over 80 years ago, were just as fantastic as they are now. Because I think one of them was given the rights to go up to 90 miles an hour. I think it was Bitten, or maybe Union South Africa, that was given the rights to go up to 90 miles an hour on a special trip. And seeing an A4 going over 75 like it should, it's just amazing. Right, this has been a bit emotional because the A4s are one of my true favourite locomotives. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. This is Upwell and Onward here, saying thank you and good night.